Hello, future chemists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the heart of molecular structure. Today, we unravel the fascinating concept of resonance from the chapter Chemical Bonding. This topic is crucial for G-main and forms the backbone of organic chemistry. We'll explore resonance across 4 levels: easy, medium, hard, and hardest, building your understanding step by step. Let's dive in. Ready to discover how molecules achieve extra stability? Let's start with the basics of resonance, making it super simple to grasp. Resonance is a special way to describe bonding in molecules where a single Lewis structure just isn't enough. Imagine a molecule that has properties no single drawing can explain. That's where resonance comes in. We use multiple, contributing structures or canonical forms to show electron movement. The real structure isn't any one of these, but a blend, a resonance hybrid. This means electrons are not stuck in one place, they're delocalized over several atoms, leading to greater stability. We use a double-headed arrow to show these forms. The resonance hybrid is the actual, stable form of the molecule. It's always more stable than any of its individual contributing structures, and this extra stability is called resonance energy. Think of ozone, O. If you draw one Lewis structure, it suggests one double and one single bond, but experiments show both bonds are identical. Resonance solves this. Two equivalent structures contribute to a hybrid where both bonds are 1.5 order, and charges are spread out. This explains the observed identical bond lengths and enhanced stability. Now, let's test your basic understanding of resonance. Here are 3 quick questions. Take a moment to think about them before revealing the answers. Good luck! Great job on the easy level. Now, let's deepen our understanding with some more details and essential rules for resonance. For resonance to occur, a molecule needs conjugation, alternating single and multiple bonds, or a lone pair next to a pi system. Also, the atoms involved must be flat, or coplanar, allowing p orbitals to overlap. When drawing these structures, remember, only electrons move, never the atoms themselves. The total number of electrons must stay the same, and the overall charge must be conserved. Negative charges prefer more electronegative atoms, and structures with complete octets are generally more stable. These rules are key to correctly identifying and drawing resonance forms. Resonance energy is the extra stability a molecule gains from electron delocalization. It's the difference between the actual hybrid's energy and the most stable individual contributing structure. A higher resonance energy means a more stable molecule. Consider benzene. Its huge resonance energy explains its exceptional stability. This energy isn't something you can release easily in a reaction, it's an inherent stability. We often estimate it by comparing experimental heats of reactions to theoretical values. Let's apply these rules to the carbonate ion, Co-superscript 2. It has 3 equally important resonance structures. Each shows one double bond and 2 single bonds, with negative charges on the single bonded oxygens. The actual ion, the resonance hybrid, has all 3 CO bonds identical, with a bond order of about 1.33. The -2 charge is also perfectly distributed across all 3 oxygen atoms. This uniform distribution and identical bond lengths are direct evidence of resonance at play. It's a perfect illustration of how electron delocalization averages out the bonding. You've learned the conditions and rules for resonance and understood resonance energy. Now, challenge yourself with these 5 medium-level practice questions. Try drawing structures and explaining concepts. Pause the video and give it your best shot. Ready to tackle more complex aspects? In this hard level, we'll analyze the stability of different resonance forms and dive into their profound applications. Not all resonance structures are created equal. Some contribute more to the hybrid because they are more stable. The most important factor is achieving a complete octet for all atoms, especially second-period elements. After that, more covalent bonds mean more stability. Less charge separation is preferred, and if charges are present, negative charges should be on more electronegative atoms. Lastly, avoid placing like charges next to each other, as this is highly destabilizing. Understanding these priorities is crucial for predicting a molecule's true nature. Resonance effects, also known as mesomeric effects, can be categorized into two types. Pulsar groups donate electrons to a conjugated system, typically having lone pairs or negative charges, like OV or NH. They increase electron density in the system. Minusar groups, on the other hand, withdraw electrons, usually having multiple bonds, like NO or Cu. They decrease electron density. These effects are vital for understanding how substituents influence the reactivity of molecules, particularly in organic reactions like electrophilic aromatic substitution. Resonance is incredibly powerful in explaining various chemical phenomena. It accounts for the identical bond lengths in benzene and carboxylate ions, which a single Lewis structure cannot. It explains why carboxylic acids are acidic, their conjugate base is resonance stabilized. Similarly, it clarifies why anilines are weaker bases. Resonance also stabilizes reactive intermediates like carbocations and carbanions, directing reaction pathways. Benzene itself is a classic example. Its high stability and unique reactivity are entirely due to its extensive pi-electron delocalization, making it undergo substitution rather than addition reactions. You've now explored the stability factors and applications of resonance. It's time to put your knowledge to the test with these 7 hard-level questions. These will challenge your analytical skills and understanding of resonance effects. Good luck! Excellent work! Now, prepare to push your limits. The hardest level will delve into competitive depth, connecting resonance to advanced theories and real-world insights. Resonance is central to understanding aromaticity, a special stability found in cyclic, planar, conjugated systems following Huckel's 4n+2 pi-electron rule. This extensive delocalization provides immense resonance energy, making aromatic compounds uniquely stable and resistant to typical alkene reactions. Beyond simple rings, we have extended resonance in long polyenes, impacting their color, and cross-conjugation, where multiple pi systems interact at one point, sometimes reducing overall stabilization compared to linear systems. These concepts are vital for understanding complex molecular architectures. We can even quantify resonance's impact. By averaging bond orders from all contributing structures, we can predict actual bond lengths. For carbonate, this gives a CO bond order of 1.33, matching experimental observations. Similarly, average formal charges show how charges are distributed. While resonance theory is a brilliant conceptual tool, it's an approximation. Molecules don't resonate between structures, they exist as they hybrid. Molecular orbital theory offers a more fundamental explanation, describing delocalized molecular orbitals that span across multiple atoms, providing a quantum mechanical basis for electron spreading without the need for hypothetical structures. Resonance profoundly impacts reaction mechanisms by stabilizing transition states and reactive intermediates, thus influencing reaction rates. For example, the stability of carbocations in SN1 reactions is often resonance-driven. Spectroscopically, extended conjugation, a direct result of resonance, shifts UV-vis absorption to longer wavelengths, explaining why highly conjugated molecules appear colored. Resonance also dictates molecular dipole moments and even gives partial double bond character to single bonds, like the CN bond in amides, which is critical for understanding protein structure and rigidity. This insight bridges fundamental chemistry to biological systems. Finally, it's important to distinguish resonance from hyperconjugation. Both involve electron delocalization, but resonance primarily deals with pi electrons and lone pairs in conjugated systems, a stronger effect. Hyperconjugation, often called no-bond resonance, involves the delocalization of sigma electrons from CH bonds into adjacent empty p orbitals or pi systems, like in carbocations or alkenes. It's a weaker but still significant stabilizing effect. Understanding these nuances is crucial for advanced problem-solving in organic chemistry and predicting molecular behavior in competitive exams. You've reached the pinnacle of understanding resonance. Now, challenge yourself with the first 5 of 10 hardest level questions. These require critical thinking, application of advanced concepts, and often, a synthesis of multiple ideas. Take your time, analyze each problem, and strive for comprehensive answers. Good luck! And now, for the final 5 questions of the hardest level. These are designed to test your deepest understanding and preparedness for competitive exams like GMAT. Push your intellectual boundaries, connect different chemical concepts, and demonstrate your mastery of resonance. You've got this! Congratulations on completing this in-depth journey through resonance. We hope this structured approach has solidified your understanding. For more such comprehensive educational content, practice questions, and personalized learning experiences, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous learning updates. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep excelling. See you next time.